Hey everybody out there, it's me Shaun, and I wanted to tell you that the government has a partial closing, a partial shutdown that's been for about 4 days now since Friday. It's Monday, the 24th, 2018, and people are just going about their business and not really saying much about it. Nobody really seems to be disturbed about it. But what people don't understand that it's forecast that this shutdown will go throughout the new year. Probably, if it doesn't reopen, if the government doesn't reopen by Thursday, it'll probably, they're speculating, the media is speculating, and politicians are speculating that the government will stay shut down until the new year of 2019. I think the same thing. I think that the government will be shut down until that time, but it'll go much longer than people will think. There'll subsequently be a full shutdown, unfortunately, and I think that the banks will close. Um, um, I think that the banks will close for approximately a week. It'll be forecast that the banks will reopen, but that won't happen. I think there'll be widespread rioting in America because people can't get to their money. I think that Jade Helm 15, which is President Obama's bill, will start to um, be put into action where martial law will come into effect, and you'll see the militia, the military, in full force throughout all of America, arresting people, fighting people who only want their money, putting people in FEMA camps, and people will be going hungry because they can't get to their money. The government will have a full shutdown. People will not be able to get to their Social Security checks, regular checks. Businesses will subsequently shut down. Anything that's run by computer, which is everything now in the 21st century, will shut down. There won't be an MTA here in New York. Uh, International travels will stop. National travels will stop. There won't be airlines, rail system, buses. Will not be able to go across country, go across state, or even cross the street. Uh, there won't be any gases. There'll be wide national fighting over gasoline and food, and it'll be a really horrific place to live. And I think it'll be in the 21st. I think it'll be 2019 that happens. Um, I have to say that this is orchestrated by the 12 offices that are executive offices that are above the president, that tells the president what to do. In all of our history, there has always been 12 offices that tell the president what to do, what to say, what to sign, what bills to implement. And so that's the way that goes. I think that what President Trump is bargaining for, which is the border wall, won't come to fruition. I think people from Mexico and all over South America will invade America full force. I think that the other bill that President Obama signed, the China bill, which people don't know about, where all people in China, men, women, and children, will come full force into America, but that'll be legal because of the Gobi Desert. The Gobi Desert is overrunning China. In other words, sand is going all through China, and cities in China, the outskirts of many large cities will be covered in sand, and people will not be able to live. Chinese people will not be able to live. So President Obama in 2015 implemented a bill where all citizens of China will be able to come to America and live. They will primarily be in the Midwest. Um, the national parks that we have here in America, say for instance Yellowstone National Park and Big Bear and all these national parks will be lived in wholeheartedly. I believe that the fires that were in California and Nevada and all the other places, that the fires happen on a regular basis every year. I think that that has been a deliberate attempt to slash and burn the West Coast to make room for nationals that will be coming into this country. People from South America, people from China, all different peoples of the world will be living in America legally, illegally, and it's been orchestrated since I guess the 1920s, or even before that time, by the cabal, the Illuminati, for this country to change. In 2019, the third bill that Obama put into play, the currency bill, will come into effect, and you will not have cash money. There will be no dollar bill. You know, there's no gold in Fort Knox. There hasn't been any gold in Fort Knox, which was the basis for America's money for decades. Replacing the dollar bill would be the RFID chip. And this is a chip that would be put into everyone's right hand. If for some reason you don't want that, a barcode will be put across or tattooed across everyone's forehead. It's spoken about in the Bible. I have many videos about that. So the 21st century, the new world order, will make America unrecognizable to hundreds of millions of people. It's forecasted in the Bible, is forecasted in a lot of contracts and in the bills that I spoke about. And I think that the coming future is going to be a horrific place to live. But what can I possibly say? I've warned you. Many people have warned. I want to say this. The financial analysts in this country, like Susie Orman, 3 years ago, stated not to buy a car, not to buy a house, and also not even to buy a computer because times are going to be bad. She said that back in 2015. She knows exactly because she's a financial analyst, and there are two more analysts that forecasted the same thing. I can't recall their names at the moment. I'm so sorry about that. Because our finances are going to be so horrific. People will be scrounging for food. Landlords will decimate living places because they will not be able to get their rent, because people will be out of work wholeheartedly. I think that the recession or depression will be a factor to be reckoned with in the very near future. Right now, the S&P and the Dow Jones are down 500 points. And during this time of Christmas in December, we usually have really great prosperity, and the Dow Jones is usually up points. And it's down because of our difficulty with the China trade. China, I mentioned that before. So I want to wish everyone a good Christmas and New Year's. Have the best time of your life, because I think things will change rather rapidly. Thank you so much for your time and patience.